Hi folks, it's Dr. Smith, i.e. Smitty again, and I just noticed, Miss Katie has on pink fuzzy slippers of a sort.
I do.
Because what were we doing earlier today? We were doing lawn stuff. And then what do we always do after that sort of thing?
We hydrate, we take a nap.
And we take a long nap. So what game do you have today here for us?
I have, let me see, Modern War Magazine, The Battle of Huế.
And who is this from? It's from one of my magazine subscriptions from Decisions Games, isn't it?
Right.
And it just came today.
It just came in the mail today.
So we're all excited. Had you ever heard of this battle before?
No.
No, because I generally don't focus much on Vietnam, do I?
No.
But for those who don't know anything about it, it is an exceedingly bloody battle. Think of it in a sense at the Stalingrad or the Battle of Manila in South Vietnam in 1968.
Mm-hmm.
As always, folks, we thank you, and we'll talk to you in just a minute. Hi, folks, it's Dr. Smith, Smitty. We've got the Battle of Hue for you, Decision Games, Modern War. It just came in the mail today. And in fact, how can I tell you it just came in the mail today? Because it came, and I think Miss Katie actually got it first, and being the bad wife that she is, she looked what it was, saw a picture of it, and sent it to our buddy Kurt Hudson first, just to tweet Kurt, because we love Kurt so much. Kurt's also a CDAT like I was, and is just one of the best gamers I know, but Miss Katie's she's a bad wife sometimes when it comes to gaming. But, new game, Battle of Hue, and of course we know who's on the cover. It's 1-7 Cav, and who's the 7th Cav? What is their song? Custer. And what song do we always sing? Gary Allen. And what are the most romantic words you can say to your wife other than for the regiment? Gary Allen. Those are romantic words in the Smith household. But it's interesting that they would put the 7th Cav iconic picture on it rather than the Marines who did most of the fighting in the city of Hue. But good cover. And there are some other good articles in here. Probably the other really good article, and it's well done in terms of diagrams and photographs, is the MiG U.S. Air Force combat in Korea. Really a very interesting article. We've looked at that so far. But this is a 5-turn game. Turns are approximately 4 to 5 days. And as I had sort of alluded to, this was, in a sense, the Stalingrad South Vietnam. Of course, we got counters, which you will see more of later. And we've got a very colorful and nice map. It's an area map. And of course, our friend Barry will be going, Smitty, show it to us later. Well, I will, of course, show it to you later. But really an interesting magazine map, and so much different than the magazine games we used to get when we were, well, far younger than we are today. But when I was talking about the fact that this was such a bloody battle, the North Vietnamese went in there with a goal of partially exterminating the local infrastructure, the educational structure and all, and massacred hundreds, if not thousands of people, to include, of course, school children, because, well, this was more than just a civil war. This was an ideological war, which was hard for us, A, to understand, and B, when we came across the mass graves post the clearing and recapture of Hue, it was hard for us to understand. Two books to recommend here. There is Bertle's U.S. Army Counterinsurgency and Contingency Operation Doctrine, 1942-1976. The part that's most interesting is, of course, the section that falls on Vietnam. The Counterinsurgency Doctrine in 1942, yeah, it's a bit of a stretch here. But Bertle is a key look from an Army historian at this period. The other book I would tell you, which has nothing to do with the Battle of Hue, but you may or may not have heard of it, is Bernard Fall's Street Without Joy, dealing with the French loss of Indochina. Truly an epic book. My favorite section in it is when they are talking about a Cambodian French NCO who, at the end of the day, when it's the call to the colors, he's up saluting the French flag, but the local French women who are playing tennis are too busy being socialites. And his tale from that is that this is why the French lost Indochina, in a sense, is because others were more interested in it than the actual French themselves. So, but a great book. Fall then dies in Indochina, I think 1965, 1966, covering the Vietnam War as a correspondent. But if you've never read this book, it's hard to put down. We'll see you at the gaming table here in a minute. Thank you as always. All right, folks, it's Smitty. We're back. Of course, you know, you saw Miss Katie holding it. Much more interesting than me doing it here. There's the cover of the new Battle of Hue from Modern War. The counters, well, it's standard counter sheet. Oh, let's go with the front first. That helps, doesn't it? Yeah, sorry there, folks. Mostly game markers. You've got almost all, which means in this case, they are all U.S. Marines other than the MAC-V unit. But we've got scads of market. Well, of course, sorry, I need to amend myself. We do have ARVN units here, which are the Army of the Republic of Vietnam, which is South Vietnam. But lots of counters. Not. It's a single block. But quality lately has been good. I've had no trouble punching out counters from my other games. Now, the map. Oh, let's try to, we'll skim this down from top to bottom. And I'm guessing Miss Frankie will probably come over to help us. And of course, the Imperial Palace right here. The Perfume River. Oh, you heard Miss Katie getting dinner stuff ready. And of course, you see herself, Batcat, Miss Frankie. Well, back to this. You see this, we've got over here the turn record chart. We've got tables on assault and movement, the gate areas, assault procedures, retreat, the combat result table, which is on either you like these kind or not. They're pretty standard anymore with losses on one side or the other. And we got the political, probably I think it's political point track, because the point is for the Americans, they have to clear the city quickly. And the South Vietnamese, of course, want to clear the city quickly. And the North Vietnamese want to try to hold it as long as they can. So, and this is a different terrain key. It almost looks like a set of subway lines, doesn't it? Attractive map. Looks much better than what you expect for your standard magazine game. So, oh, and in this game, movement is unlimited because it's an urban area. But of course, when you come into contact with the enemy, well, movement stops. So, we're looking forward to this game here in the near future. As always, we thank you again. Bye-bye.